Differential feed is something people sometimes have a hard time grasping when they're trying to master it on the Serger. Now, even though we're working on the Singer Elite SE017, most Sergers have differential feed, and you're going to be able to follow along and learn and understand what this is and how to make it work to your benefit. So traditionally, when you actually serge on really stretchy fabric or something that's very loosely woven, you might have the result like what you're seeing here, where it's kind of all wiggly. It doesn't lay flat. So on a serger, the feed dogs are very, very long in comparison to, say, your sewing machine. Now, we can sometimes actually compare differential feed adjustments, and we're over here, by the way, for where this is. Sometimes it's another knob. Sometimes it's over here underneath your serger if you have that feature. Sometimes we can compare this to using a walking foot on your sewing machine, where it's going to help bring those fabrics in evenly. So right now, when I stitched, the fabric was stretched as it went through the serger. So this is not ideal, and that is something we can fix with differential feed. Now, I will tell you, at a normal setting, it has the notation of like a 1.0. On some sergers, it might even have an N for normal. That's where it should be. Then, the next thing is how to adjust it. Well, here's the trick. Number one, if you haven't done this in a long time, go ahead and turn it to one direction or the other. One is going to make it even worse, and one is going to make it better. So here's how to think about this. Right now, underneath the foot, there are two sets of feed dogs. They pull in normally when it's set to 1 or normal, so think of it as a 1-to-1 ratio. Then you will notice that one direction goes all the way up to 2. And so down here, I'm going to put it to 2, and I'm going to serge in just a second. But 2 means that the front feed dog is going to pull in twice as much fabric than what the back one is. So there's like this little feed dog here and the big movement of the front feed dog here. So what it does is it helps ease the fabric in, which is exactly what I need to do. Instead of it getting stretched out, I need to help bring it in a little faster. Now, this is not a huge wave, so honestly, I probably won't need to be all the way down at 2. Somewhere in that 1.5 would probably be ideal, so you can kind of find a happy middle. But that's why we always tell you to test on the actual fabric you're working on. Now, it does go the opposite way. Let me just explain that before I stitch. When you think of fabric that is slippery, let's think of 2 pieces of satin that you're constructing and serging together. What's going to happen is that bottom layer is going to slip and probably feed a little faster than the top layer. You've done that with the sewing machine too, right? You get to the end and like the top layer is longer than the bottom, and you're like, oh no, and you're trying to hold it back. Well, what we can do here is actually make that front feed dog pull in not as much as the back one. And so that would be the less than 1-to-1 ratio. So this is going to do a little bit while this is still doing a lot. Okay, so that's the little hand signals, but here's how you can do it. Like I said, one is going to make it worse and one is going to make it better. So if you don't remember which way to go, just give it a try. Okay, so we're down here. What's going to happen is it's going to help kind of push that fabric back in. It might even look like it's gathering it, which I kind of feel like I'm going to show you this. I'm going to just turn this way over here. Can you see the little wrinkles? That is, now it's pushing in more. Now, I went the right direction, but I went too far. I did not need to be to that furthest level. I just needed a little bit of differential feed, not the whole enchilada. Okay, so here we go. A little less. So you can see at the beginning how it kind of pushed too much in, but then I came back to a normal setting. Look how beautiful that is, as flat as can be compared to what I actually cut off. I should have tried it on the other side so you could see the difference, but you saw it before. It was very wavy, and that is a common consistency issue with knit fabrics. So anything stretchy, you might have that wave. You're going to go towards the 2, and that will be your answer. If it is gathering like it was, then the other direction's the way you go, and then what it'll do is kind of ease out the gathers. So happy differential feeding. You don't need it all the time. You will find, I'm like 1 to 10. every time I sit down, 1 out of 10 times I will need differential feed. So it's not something you need a lot, but thank goodness your serger has it. And then don't forget, put it back to normal. So when you go to stitch your next normal fabric without stretch, you're not getting something unexpected. So just remember, normal, 2.5, normal settings here. That should be where you start, and then adjust from your kind of baseline based on your fabric and the look of your stitch. All right, check out all the videos that we've done on the Singer Elite SE017. You can master your serger from start to finish with these free video tutorials. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button so you can be notified when new videos arrive.